The day was finally over. School was over. All graduates gathered outside as they received their diplomas ready to celebrate. My friends and I rejoiced as we finally finished our high school career. We shook hands with one another, teachers, our parents, and people we didn't even know. I was so happy that I was done with school. I was ready to go to work and start my life. Months following graduation, I was working full time at a recycling plant. Though for the most part I didn't really enjoy it, it was something. I was making money and I was starting to support myself. I started to pay for my own car insurance, phone bill, I even started buying my own groceries. I was starting to feel like an adult even though I wasn't happy for the most part. 1 month later, I started my out of state job in Philadelphia. I realized I had no idea what I was in for. This was not going to be a regular 9 to 5 at Market Basket, the job I had when I was in high school. This was another animal entirely. The job sounded simple: replace an old worn out conveyor belt. However, this was not just a regular rubber belt, this was a massive belt made out of steel. Yeah, that doesn't sound fun, I know. This job we only had 3 days to complete. With problems along the way, this resulted in us working 27 hours straight to get the job done. I sat down for 1 minute to catch my breath. Next thing I knew, my boss was standing over me. He told me I had passed out for 15 minutes. Yeah, it was a great time. There was, however, other jobs that went a lot smoother. This job that we went on was a lot better. We had to raise a compactor. All we had to do was put in steel legs underneath the existing compactor. Though it wasn't a cakewalk, we didn't have to work 27 hours straight. The money was good in this line of work, but there was a case where my dad and I were out of work for 2 whole months, simply because jobs were getting underbid and wouldn't be worth the travel and other expenses to go. So this way of life started to become a little bit straining, and I started to consider maybe doing something else. It was now the winter time, and I started to consider the different opportunities that I had. Even though I was making good money, as stated before, I really wanted to change. I was working crazy hours on the road welding, and the recycling plant that I worked at went under. Though the money was great, the work was inconsistent. So I ventured into the bubble here at Franklin Pierce University. I was greeted by eager staff and students who seemed like they really wanted to get to know me. I got a plethora of info on clubs, classes, and sports. I walked about the campus and thought, hey, this could be a place I could come to and start something different. A few more months had passed. It was now the springtime. I sat back in my desk still wondering whether or not if this would be the best choice for my life. I started to realize, though, this would be a big opportunity for me. I could possibly have a job that correlates with my life passion. Soon the choice became clear on what I should do. I then began to prepare for what would be my new life. I got the shopping done, picked up all the necessities, and 5 months later I left for Franklin Pierce. Not my original plan when I got out of high school, but one that I will hope will be a success.